So in Guardian game playlist there is Overlord Unstoppable again.
Oh, but wait, there's champions?
Mm-hmm.
Are we just doing... Is it going to be random strikes, or are we doing the Nightfall?
We are doing the Guardian Games competitive playlist to earn medals.
Because I just got done fucking telling you I don't even know what this shit even means. Like, I barely even know what fucking guard... Like, how are we even competing? By dunking medals? Oh, and you're supposed to get medals. Fantastic. You get medals by completing activities, but only when you're holding cards, and you have to go to the card to get the card, go to the tower to get the tower card, turn the card in to get the medal into the podium, then when you the podium and the medal, and then you jump and get the loot, and then the skimmer. Dude, what the fuck, bro? Come on. This is bullshit. It's just fucking noise. Just want to play a video game. It's so stupid, bro.
We
Fucking
already
devs are
had
just
this
dumbasses.
discussion. Video game is just the background for us. We were doing this like a different thing, I hope.
Okay, competitive Nightfall. Cool. So it's like a Nightfall rotation, yeah?
For
I'm happy
Guardian
about
games.
that. I like that. I like that. That's cool.
And we don't have any randoms here, so we are just by ourselves. That's great, bro. Как мы скажем по-русски, интимная обстановка.
Интимная обстановка, ну... Ну, это будет классно, если... Ой... Воители не было бы классно.
Воители будут.
I just forgot how they're called in Russian. Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, like that's what I was saying was, I know that they will be. I was saying that it would be cool if they weren't, because all that means for us is that our life is way harder.
Bro, I have the same issue again. I am falling down. I have the problem from yesterday. For some reason. I'm falling down again and again and again.
Don't look for patterns. Don't. I just fell. Bro, oh, there's a hole, bro.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, that's not you. There's a fucking hole right here. Come back here and get me up and look at this stupid hole, dude. How dumb this shit is.
Yeah.
Dude, how is anyone supposed to know that this is there?
Unstoppable's coming on here. Oh, nice stun. Nice stun. You're a legend,
There's another one
bro.
up top. There's another one up top. Careful. Damn it. Han geret на мне.
Unstoppable down.
Отлично. Что?
Турели.
I got roasted. I don't know what happened. There's a huge explosion. I lost all my health. It's like I got sniped or something. Ебанати, бро, ебанати. Не забывай. Ты знаешь, что такое ебанат?
Ебанат?
Вот у меня есть. Вот он, ебанат, блядь.
Релик?
Да. Мой любимый орех. На, нахуй.
Тогда это ебатор.
Это ебатор?
The thing
Ебанатор? Ой-ой-ой. God damn it, why'd you curse me? You fucking curse me. Oh, it's happening to me from yesterday. It's a bullshit texture, and now I'm thinking about it, and now I'm dying.
Одержимые очень упорны. А если они во власти свидетеля, тем более. Мы должны отправиться туда, чтобы им помешать.
Now every time we fucking die or fall off a ledge, we're gonna be thinking that we're cursed.
Это проклятие.
Fucking with my superstition, Jay.
Турели.
I'd like to shoot my super at the turret, fuckers. I'd like you to die, because I fucking hate you. I don't think we need to jerk off over it. It's just two of us. Look, when he spawns, when a tormentor spawns, they only have a couple abilities. And one of them is to put this purple void thing above their head that's a disc. Okay? Это, блядь, как это? Кружная, блядь, кружится, блядь. Что это такое? Диск, нахуй.
Ну?
Не знаю это слово.
Ну, диск.
Блядь, это, блядь, void fucking диск, блядь. Пустотный
диск, да.
Пустотный, спасибо. Ну, блин, когда они, блядь, сделали это, пара патронов, пара. Это не так немного, это достаточно надо. Стреляет на это. Ну, блин, немного. И, блин, я сижу каждый, сука, раз через, блядь, ёбаный люк. А у меня нет такой урона, у меня нет такой скорострельности на это. И, блядь, я сделал это для тебя, что у тебя есть блядский ёбаный автомат.
Бро, твой русский просто прекрасен.
Спасибо.
Когда ты начинаешь ругаться, ты сразу начинаешь хорошо говорить по-русски. Это просто прекрасно, бро. Это просто прекрасно.
Okay, but you understand what I'm saying, bro, right? Like,
bro.
Just fucking. So all you need to do, literally, when he goes, whoa, and he puts this fucking crap up in the air, and it starts spinning and shooting shit, right? Just shoot the center of that shit, and you'll see what I mean. Because as soon as you put a couple shots on it, it's gonna start spinning and going all fucking wonky, and then it'll disappear. It'll get all, and we won't have to. Basically, if you don't shoot it, that thing shoots at us. But if you shoot it, then it fucking like blows up and goes away. Okay? Понимаешь, да?
Да. Я постараюсь. I will try.
Да. And I have a machine gun as well. I need to remember to pull my fucking machine gun. But this one problem with my machine gun is I can't reload it. It doesn't reload. I have to fucking manually reload it. So if I shoot everything and I'm in a fight, I don't have time to reload it, man. It's too long. So it's like... Ебучий лук, блин. Ебучий, блин. Как я ненавижу. Это... Я забываю, как они на русском. Champions. Я ненавижу Champions, блядь.
Чемпионы, блин. So, tell me about your school.
I think you could probably say that most of the people would fit into these groups as children. It's kind of not really fair to think about adults in that way, though, because there's a lot of adults are different, yeah. Они, люди, взрослые люди очень разные, да. Ну, на самом деле, у нас в Америке, да, типа такое, это обычные студенты, мне кажется, блин, 50%, наверное, обычные студенты, которые не занимаются спортом, не любят музыку, не очень умные.
Ну, задроты.
Они просто нормальные. Они не задроты, они просто нормальные, средние. И еще один 50% это уникальные. Да? Они, наверное, будут задроты, они, наверное, будут талантливее, как это будет?
Талантливый, да, талантливый.
Талантливый, да, талантливый, спасибо. Наверное, не будет так. Ну, да. Мне кажется, это должен быть... It has to be the same in Russia, I think.
Not exactly. But what about these sports guys who plays fucking football, for example? Are they like, how to say, aggressive and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Да, они очень агрессивные, они очень злые, наверное. Они тупее.
So everything is true.
Что у нас ситуация такая. Американские обычные американские родители нет времени. Вообще время мало. Время очень мало. Серьезно. Так что если how to say, like малолетние, да, если они растут и стать нормальный человек, ну блин, это маленький шедевр. Серьезно, потому что how to say, like the odds are against them, yeah, like it's not, the chances are very high that these kids will have some sort of imbalance. These kids will have some sort of fixation. They will have some sort of period in their life, at least a small period in their life, at least, where they have some sort of problem with either the law, either with maybe they're abusing a girlfriend or like domestic friendships. Maybe they're abusing their parents. You know, they'll go through a phase where they're absolutely, ну, дикий такой.
But what do you mean abusing their parents?
Just fucking жесткий, talking shit to them, fucking maybe throwing a temper tantrum in their house and like breaking their belongings, or taking their cars, or somehow, you know, people can abuse each other in many other ways. Maybe emotional abuse, you know, maybe it's there's many different kinds of abuse.
То есть они не уважают родителей. They don't pay respect for their parents, right?
Maybe some. I can't say for all, bro. I'm just saying, like, it's very common for a kid to have a problem, or go through a phase like this and to have problems, yeah? And the issue is compounded because in America, I really feel that our parents don't have the traditional, they weren't raised in a family that has time to raise them, first of all.
I got smoke.
Interesting.
And it's a healing nade on me. I don't know. They just team shot at me.
Snipers. Here, come on, small rift. I'm gonna go around the side.
Well, here in Russia we have a very similar situation. When many like teenagers became very aggressive against their parents, just because they already feel that they are like grown-ups, they do better, and their parents are just like a burden for them. You know?
Yeah, in America we have a lot of, I think, from the other side. I think it's probably 50-50, but we have a lot from another side. You see this disc? Yeah, you shot
Да,
it.
я читаю, я стреляю, но ничего не происходит.
Ну, это происходит, да. Надо check it в следующий раз. Это происходит. Because these projectiles will track you, bro. So otherwise, if you don't shoot it, the projectiles will track you. So if you shoot it, it'll fucking destabilize and then disappear. Так что.
But when kids are still like small, you know, like small kids, like not the teenagers yet, they're like carried by parents because for the most part they have like grandmothers and grandfathers, you know, to care about them, to look out, how to say, to look after them, right?
Yeah, look after them, man. To look after them, to take care of them.
And but this pubertatный период, we call it pubertatный период, like a teenager state, it's always very difficult. So we have the word for this. They start to, rebel, right?
Yeah, rebel, exactly. Yeah. Rebellious teenagers. Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a difference between rebellion and desperation. And I think a lot of the kids in America, they're pushed into a very uncomfortable position where they're being forced by everyone in the world around them to conform and to be punished for the things that they didn't do. For example, like if you're a kid and you don't do your work at school, your parents will punish you. And dude, this guy is. Can we kill this tormentor? Can you please help me?
No,
with this,
I
dude?
don't want to kill him because we need to kill champions first.
I'm really tired of him following me around, bro. I'm sick of this.
Okay,
It's really
let's kill
annoying.
him. Let's kill
This is
him.
just on me. It's ridiculous. It'd be one thing if he left me alone for 5 seconds, but he doesn't. Zaddy, Jay. I got him stunned.
Very nice work.
Nice work, brother. Nice work. Alright, cool. So now we're good?
But again, it's a problem to make friends in American school, as far as I understand, because there are like 3 different schools. So you go to the elementary school and the middle school and the high school, right?
Yeah.
So here we have only one school.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Well, and these little things all add up. Yeah, and I think in general, in a lot of ways, our education system is awful. It's really, really bad, and because these boomers, basically the generations before us, are not willing to admit that it's so bad, and they're not willing to sit there and call all of these old teachers basically part of the problem. The problem just continues. And we have all of this confusion in American society from the very beginning, basically from the start of your skin color all the way to politics to all this other stuff. We have no national unity, and that makes things really difficult because at the same time, there's people in your world that you care about, and at the same time, there's people in your world that you would pretty much consider basically like your enemy, your domestic enemy, basically. You're not somebody that you want to hurt, but there's somebody that you think is stupid, and basically you don't care what happens to them. And that's a terrible mentality for any citizens of for any nation, if you're talking about governance of a nation. You want your people to have some sort of unification. It's very important in order to keep the federation together, right? And the more people there are, the harder that is, right? So obviously, it's good to have ideological help with ideological themes. It's good to have Yazik, like language, and have your language be protected, have your language not be corrupted, and used against you or used by people who don't value it, which is where we're at with English, because a lot of people in the world will speak English, but they don't actually care to learn it. So there's a lot of problems. The odds are set against Americans to begin with, in a lot of ways, because our system is just not made to allow us to have the things that make a nation work. So anyway, if we back it all the way down to kids and the education system, absolutely, yeah, we need to have less holes for children to fall into, less potential situations for children to get into where they're gonna end up with this negative feedback loop, Because I feel like a lot of kids get trapped in negativity, they get trapped in depression, and there's no way out. And it's because of our culture that obsesses with punishment, obsesses with accountability for others and not for ourselves, and many other things. But in general, I see a lot of parents and they're not healthy people, dude. And the kids by themselves, they're obviously not healthy as well. And it's really fucking sad. But these people won't stop having children. You know, they won't think to themselves. They don't understand. They think that the first thing you do is just decide to have a child or not, and you don't really think about it. And it's like, really, you need to think about how much time you have. You need to think about how much resources you have, because resources will translate into time. And so when we talk about living wage and we talk about the plight of the working class in America, it's not socialist themes. We're in a position where capitalism has pushed us to a point where now we're suffering materially, and we need to have a talk about it, because it's not okay. Our people are being pushed to a state of ignorance. I sound like a freak. What are we talking about? We started talking about kids in school. I'm gonna shut up.
Bro,
Anyway.
that's why we're doing this. It's very
Nah,
interesting.
I sound like someone's paying me to say it. I've literally sat
Bro, that's
and
very
thought about it
interesting.
for way too long.
No, bro.
Thought about all this for way
I'm
too
impressed.
long, bro.
I'm so happy that it works. I mean, I really love to listen to you, bro. You are a very
Nah,
smart
it's
guy. Bro, that's
No.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Well, I think I don't know, if you were honest, I don't know if you'd say that I'm so smart. I think
I
what
am
you'd say.
honest.
No. Let me please. I know you're honest, but I'm saying, bro, come on. Like, I think really what you mean is just that you can see the sense, yeah. Понимаешь смысл.
Да.
Не знаю, как правильно
Да,
сказать.
понимаешь смысл?
Да. Okay, so now we got to use our sparrows. God help us.
Да.
Nightfall difficulty, so remember they're gonna hit pretty hard. So try to avoid these balls if you can. Bullet. Yeah, I mean, like I was cruising on Reddit today, and there's this Reddit. It's like financial literacy, or like financially fluent, I think is the name of it. And it was like somebody posted this thing, and it was some kid complaining like, "Hey, if I work 40 hours a week, I should be able to like have a one-room apartment and afford food." You know? And everybody's balking and laughing in her face. And what's the fucking problem with that, to be honest? The idea is that if she wants to live in LA, if everyone wants to live in LA, and all they need to do is just get a job and work 40 hours a week in order to be able to have weekends off and sit on their ass in LA. I mean, I can understand that's an issue, but we're not talking about. We're simply talking about like kind of the principle, right? The principle of work. We're not really talking about I deserve to have what I want. We're talking about, oh fuck, dude, that overload's crazy. Be careful. Yeah, light him up. Nice. I got hit by a stasis. I'm not really sure where that came from, but
So you basically mean that if you have a regular job,
right.
your salary your wage will not be enough to live a normal life.
Well, depending where you are, and depending your work ability as a young person, especially as an unskilled young person, you often hear from young people that they want to take some time off school and work. Well, for those that don't have the opportunity to work nowadays, to work in a decent job, maybe for a relative, or maybe doing some sort of trade skill that they have some previous experience with. Again, experience for kids is pretty rare. So this is not every kid who would be able to do that. In general, if kids want to take time off or they want to like enter the workforce, they find out very fast that they're not worth anything. And that shouldn't be. All of these people I'm reading on Reddit are happy to tell these kids, yeah, by the way, if the world doesn't want to pay you not as much as you think, tough luck. You know, everyone wants to be the bearer of bad news for these people, and really these people aren't asking for much. They're asking for the ability to live their life and to plan for their future. And I don't think that that's an unhealthy state of affairs, because that's what humans need. Humans don't live their lives to suffer at the expense of other humans, and that's what's happening in our system, in our culture. You go to Reddit and you see these people enjoying it. They enjoy seeing this person vent their pain. basically. And I mean, and I take it seriously because we're talking about the material of life. We're talking about your time. We're talking about what you're allowed, the points that you put in your pocket that buy you food. I mean, like, I'm not going to be brutal against somebody for that, and especially not in this capitalistic society that we live in. It's almost more fair to live a poor life in the middle of the fucking Congo or something, right? And to work for your food and to work for everything. It's almost more fair than it is to come into an American system to be expected to go to work 8 hours a fucking day, and then to be given not enough, and to have to go home and to literally have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I don't have enough money to sleep indoors. It happened to me 10 years ago, and these people are still living in a fantasy world. You tough poor babies feel so entitled not to get what they want from their life, you know? It's like we're not even talking about that. We're talking about the minimum. We're talking about literally the ability to pursue liberty, the ability to pursue the things in your life like children, right? That are important. That a lot of people want, you know, are dream about someday, right? I mean, and the thing is, and like I say, this is what compounds the issue. You know, we have all this shit, and then on the other side, the biological organism doesn't stop. You don't need the government's permission to have children. You don't need your wallet's permission to have children. You don't need your parents' permission to have children, right? You don't need to impress on society that you're ready to have children. You just have children. And then those children are born into a poor family that's struggling, that's actually being victimized by the nation that they live in, more or less. Cannibalized, consumed. And why? For other people's children. You know? Because other people want to get ahead. Other people are competing against each other in our capitalist society. Right? And again, I think that's great. I think capitalism is probably the best model that we have, but we need to rein it in. We need to have someone to speak up for the poor folks, because dude, otherwise no one's going to give a shit and they're just going to suffer and die. So that's what we're seeing. There's no national unity in America. There's no reason for anyone to care about Americans. Americans don't care about each other. And guess what? There's thousands of us on the street without homes, without a future, and without hope of changing our lives because of that. That's not fair. That's not a nation. That doesn't create. That doesn't work.
So what? But what
Americans
should have done
are
to
living
change
on
it?
Voila. I think it starts at home, right? Obviously, it starts at home, because the power is with the people. Unfortunately, people got to understand that, like, in this situation, we don't have the ability. Like I said, they need to internalize the idea that Americans. I'm not an American. I live in America. Like, I understand. The people who are better than me and who have way more money than me and way more abilities than me want me to believe that I'm an American. Because when I believe that I'm an American, I work for their money. I play their game. I try to better myself. Why? Not because I'm necessarily looking forward to it, but I try to do it so that I can make more money. I try to get myself into a place where I will make more money, so I move my physical location. I'm getting roasted, bro. I can't talk and play. I'm literally...
We'll need to get used to it. But
this is such a huge topic, and I don't want to be like, I'm not a minister, dude. I'm just fucking an idiot.
No, bro, you're fucking doing a great job. I agree with you 100%, because we have a similar problems here. So I'm listening.
Think about it. Okay, wages are bad in California because there's a lot of people, right? Just say, for example, there's one job, right, that I'm doing. For example, I'm an overnight stalker clerk, right? Unskilled labor, but overnight stalker, right? So if I'm not making money in California, and I would make better money in another state, why is that? Maybe because there's a desire to have people in that. This is just very rudimentary. Obviously, there's more to do with finance than just what I'm saying. But the idea that we're told is that, employers need people to do the work. So maybe in a place where there's not enough people, right, the employer will pay more. So by extent, if I move to get that money, I'm serving the employer. I'm serving the employer's interest. I'm changing my life. I'm turning my life upside down and moving to a new place because it's beneficial for me, but why? Who's the real beneficiary? Who's really making money on all of this? Who's not having to close their doors and move their factory? Yeah, obviously the people above. And so they really want me to believe that I'm an American just like them. I have the same ability that they do. I live the same exact life. And if something's different in my life, it's because I chose to make it different. And we had the exact same equal opportunity, right? That's just not true, dude. Like, these people who are in these positions above others.
We have like different origins, different families. Different kickstarts.
Of course. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm just saying that it's ridiculous to try to say that a person who's poor has just as much of a say as a person who's rich in any way, right? Like, I wouldn't want to say that, like, you know, a poor person's word when they talk about being poor, I wouldn't want to devalue their word, right? Like, I would want to listen to someone who has that experience, right? In some way. I don't know. It sounds like I'm being a liberal because that was, listen to their lived experience. But when a rich person tells you that they're poor and they know what it's like to be poor, I'm sorry. There's like, you know, there's like a little bit of a, as long as we have this disconnect, we're never going to be able to talk about it. And I'm sorry, but there's probably too many people that don't care and that will never, ever try to do anything about it. That's why I say America's probably doomed, because there's just no way that you can get people to care about each other, and that's what needs to happen. There's no way America can manufacture that. And the only good news is that Washington is ultimately going to rely on their people, and our people are cannibalizing each other and cannibalizing themselves, and they're turning into more stupid versions of themselves, weaker versions of themselves. They're basically trading away our life and our time and our strength and the things that make us great so that they can have money, because they're taking away our time. I don't have time if I'm working. I don't have time to go to the gym. I can't be strong, you know. I don't have time to go train with firearms. I can't protect my home. You know, I don't have time to learn martial arts or to read poetry or to learn how to paint or to fucking learn how to cook or to, like, sure, you have time to do some things, but ultimately in the battle that the workers fight day to day, that time is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. And we need to ask ourselves, at what point is it going to stop? Is it going to be enough? Who is going to say no more? Who's going to look at corporate America and say, no, the people deserve a minimum. If they're not able, they still deserve a life, you know? Like I say, I'm not an American at all, because I realize I don't have enough money to be an American. You know, my vote doesn't matter, honestly, because I'm not part of the Electoral College materially. The Electoral College does not have to represent the popular vote. So therefore, in regards to voting, I'm not an American, even though they tell me I am and they want me to go and vote because it makes them look legitimate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the government, by the way, won't speak to me about my concerns. If that's not how it actually works and I made a mistake, the only person from my government who will actually speak to me is a police officer. And this is another philosophical difference with our government that's starting to go full circle and starting to weaken our nation and cause trouble, you know. That's how I see it. I'm an idiot, but, you know.
Wow.
You got nuked. Yeah, I know. They're hitting really hard, man. They're hitting really hard. I'm trying to sort of contain them a little bit.
I don't have heavy ammo, so I'm trying to use my primary.
Grab the yibba bro. Yeah, grab the yibba. You don't need to shoot this dude with your primary. Use yibba.
But I have my melee ability, thankfully, to increase my damage. Oh, шарики. That shit got killed me last time.
Axiom bolts? Mm-hmm. You're the one who taught me what those were called in English. You were the one that taught me what those were called in English.
Шарики?
Axiom bolts.
Axiom bolts.
Well, axiom bolt. Yeah, you're the one who taught me.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, I'm gonna do like last time. I'm gonna shoot a couple of these and just get them out of here, so that we don't have so many of them.
Готовься к
Yeah, more spawn.
дамагу на центре.
Да.
Я поставлю супер.
Ой-ой-ой-ой. Да, давай.
Action Balls. Иду. Ставлю супер.
Nice.
I got my super again somehow.
Красавчик. Immune.
Because we lost the barrier ability, so shoot. Don't shoot hit shield. You know what I'm talking about, right? The spinning shield.
Wait, we're not supposed to shoot the shield? What?
Well,
Oh, got it.
well, look, we had the barrier buff for some reason, so we had an ability to shoot through his spinning wall, you know. Then we
I
lost.
think you know why.
Why?
It's because of your melee.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that barrier. So if you look at the, hold on, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, please continue. Sorry, let me give you your commendation.
and then we lost this, and we had to shoot through the holes.
Bro. All right, so I just put 2 and 2 together.
What do you mean?
Where is it? Oh, it's a fragment. Okay, so your melee ability makes you and nearby powered melee attacks against combatants makes you and nearby allies radiant. Radiant gives you anti-barrier. So when you hit with your powered melee and you gain radiant, now you can hit through shields. Does that make sense? You can
So
hit
my
through
super
barrier.
makes it, yeah.
No, your melee ability
And
gives you radiant.
And my super. Let me read it real quick.
Okay, so radiant effects, granting radiant effects and restoration to nearby allies. So it grants radiant, meaning your anti-barrier when you're standing in your super or after you've given yourself the radiant buff with your powered melee.
Yeah,
so
powered melee. Yeah, you're
now
right.
I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, gotcha. Unfortunately for me, well, stasis works for unstoppables, but strand for warlocks is pretty tough because it's for unstoppables. It relies on suspend effects, and I don't think. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm lucky to have such people like you around, and I'm glad that at least the people around me think that they see things the same way, because I mean, that's the best way that I can figure is that's part of why I love Russia, man, is because, bro, like, for whatever reason, whatever anybody can say, whatever, you know, like, oh, like Europeans have always treated Russians like some barbarians that, like, I don't know what good life is, or all this other, you know, they don't know what good things are, or all this other nonsense. Like, look, even if all of that was true, which it's not, the thing that makes you guys stronger is that you have a core belief in unity, a core belief in the civilization that you're building. That there's still a lot of remnants of that. It's being changed and it's kind of going away, but there's a lot of people they still see the world that they're trying to build, and they're still willing to work for it, and they see each other as friends in this as, you know, partners in this thing. You know, not that everybody's friends or everybody's, I I said they see each other as friends, and then I say they're not. They don't. But I'm saying, like, they see each other as teammates, союзники, yeah? They see each other as, like part of the same team. Whether they like each other or not, they're on the same team and they're fighting for the same goal. And I think in America, we don't have that. We absolutely have everybody on their own team, and we're told endlessly, it's all you, it's all for you, whatever you want, it's your choice, it's your freedom, it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know? And it's not true. I mean, it's obviously not true. It's not our choice. It's, and they've made this system where the companies run everything. And meanwhile, the people don't have any core to fight back against it. The companies are союзники, they're teaming up against the workers and taking advantage of the workers. My mom used to tell me all the time, she's like, well, it's an employer's market. And the idea is that in the next year it's going to be a workers market. And the workers can go in and say, you know what? I want a little bit more money. I know that you need people to do this job and there's not enough people. And so I want a little bit more money. So, that's the idea. That's the altruistic American idea, is that there's a pendulum. It swings back and forth and there's balance. Well, for the last 15 years, it's been a fucking employer's market. Ever since the economic downturn, the only people with money make the rules. And it hasn't changed. Our wages haven't changed. They've gone up minimally because they had to. Literally, there's not enough, like, I told you, everything's so finely tuned that if you're working at an unskilled job in California, right, you're going to make exactly half of what you need to pay for rent. You're going to make exactly half of what you need just to keep yourself indoors. So you have to have a domestic partner to even survive. So you have to live with someone else, or you have to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You know what I mean? So it's like the companies are like teaming up, and meanwhile we don't have any unity amongst our people. We have no messages. No one's willing to stand together. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, organization is outlawed. Or organization of resistance against the government is a very gray area when it comes to in America as well. We don't have the freedom to do these kind of things. If we were going to organize, look what happened in our history. Look at our American history, dude. A bunch of people organized and decided they wanted to live differently. It was the bloodiest war we've ever seen on this continent. It's likely one of the bloodiest conflicts America will ever be involved in, if, let's hope that America won't be involved in anymore. But it could happen tomorrow. The government could draw a line in the sand and just declare everyone on the other side of the line a terrorist. And it's sad, but there'd be a lot of Americans that'd be sitting there giggling and eating popcorn. Because they don't see themselves as part of the same culture and the same class. They don't see themselves as part of the same team. They don't see themselves as part of the same nationality, they don't see themselves as one and the same. Так что вот.
Да, брат, ты прав.
Да, я хочу там в Россию, потому что even if I'm never a Russian, like, I appreciate this.
Bro,
I
we
see
have a
this,
lot
and
of
I want to be.
our own problems, and sometimes in the next video I will tell something about it, because we have a pretty major problems here as well, even referred to capitalistic problems again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but everything you're talking about doesn't exist here. Maybe we have some glimpse of it here, but it's completely.
It exists. It exists, man, but it doesn't. It might not be as obvious, but this is part of the reason why I think it's even more important for people to understand the core principles of what it is to live in a nation, what it is to live in society, what it is to live in a civilization, what they're doing, because we're kind of raised these days. The American message is you're raised these days to have a choice. Everything is a choice. You can choose to be ignorant. You can choose to ignore. You can choose to not be political. You can choose to spend your time watching anime and jerking off, right? But it shouldn't be a choice to make your nation weaker. People shouldn't have a choice to make themselves weaker, right? They should, and in fact, I want them to have those choices, but they should they should themselves not want those choices. They should themselves want to be strong. Most of them want to be, think in a way that's positive, think in a way that they can push forward, right? And I see, like, for example, like you have capitalist pressure on your country. You have a lot of problems with wages. There's a lot of worker exploitation. I know that. There's a lot of unofficial work versus official work. There's a lot of problems with that. However, the government's stepping up and saying, look, if you have kids, we're going to pay you some cash, a decent amount. We're going to make sure that we're going to do our best to make sure that you have an opportunity to have a place to live. And you think, and people say, oh, well, we have Section 8 and we have this and that. Well, unfortunately, no, we don't, because a lot of this is based on race. A lot of this is based on eligibility requirements that have nothing to do with the real world, right? We know that there's a lot of people in America that are on these programs that we have that are taking advantage of them and using them in the wrong ways. And there's also a lot of people that we see on the street all around us who are obviously unserved. Obviously. Maybe they don't know that they qualify. But they haven't been brought into the system. There's no one out there trying to actually construct. And I can tell you right now, there is no system. There's the reason why there's none of them out there. Why there's so many of them out there. There's none of the people from the system trying to bring these homeless folks in. And there's so many homeless people out there because there's nothing there for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
It's actually it does
come here, bro. Come here. Come to me.
Да.
So, с днем рождения тебя, с днем рождения тебя.
С днем рождения, тупи америкоси. No, америкос. Тупой америкос.
No, you're not тупой,
Yeah,
bro.
Thanks, bro. Thank you, bro. Спасибо тебе огромное, брат. With you guys, I'm a hero, bro. I feel myself a hero.
You're a hero,
And I'm in
bro.
the company of my friends, bro. Yeah, bro.